Hey, besties. Let's throw some shade, honey. You ready to get into it? Besties, did you see Straw on Netflix? Tyler Perry's newest film, movie, art. It's on Netflix. It's starring Taraji P. Henson, Glenn Thurman, Tiana Taylor, and Sherry Shepard. And Sinbad is in it. Oh, and Rockman Dunbar. It gave a John Q set it off tease. You thought of those two movies when you watched it. And once again, like Sinners, a lot happened all in one day. Okay. So this story, Taraji is the main character. Her name is Janaya, and she's just in a world by herself, just her and her daughter. There's a sister, there's a mother, but she said that they're crazy. She don't fool with them. No friends, just a friend at work. But she's pretty much in this world doing life on her own with just her 8-year old. She has two jobs, and she's just in a world where no one hears her, no one listens to her, no one helps her, you know, and she doesn't even know how to accept help. Yeah, uh-huh. So let's get into it, okay? And what I did peep, because I had to come home today and rewatch it because I decided to talk about it. I saw it on Friday night and I was just trying to watch it for pleasure, but it just shook up in my soul and got on up in my spirit. And I just had to get on here and want to talk about it. You want to talk? Let's talk about it. And what I noticed is like everyone in the movie, they're not hearing her per se, because everyone has a job to do. Everyone is trying to, they're following their own protocol. And her needs are just not met. Okay. They ain't got time. So let's get into it. Okay. So Janaya is, you know, very humble, very passive woman, very docile, not ghetto. She's a poor Black woman, single mom. She has two jobs. She has hopes that she can go back to nursing school one day. But for right now, her daughter, 8 years old, suffers from seizures and she gets sick a lot. Okay. So the movie starts. She's at home in the bed with her daughter, and her daughter wears headphones because I guess because the neighbors downstairs or wherever they are, they're blasting Glorilla at 6 o'clock in the morning, blasting it. Now her alarm goes off because she got to get up and get the baby ready for school. And I find it unbelievable. It's a Tyler Perry film. So you get those. Well, let's stop and let's unwrap Tyler Perry for just a second. Nothing too bad. You either like his work or you don't, or you kinda. And I'm on the fence. Like I kind of don't like his work. It'd be too much. It'd be too much trauma all in one movie. His shows, they just go on forever. He just prolongs things. And even with this movie, even though it was good. He's getting better. His writing, is getting better. But he just seems to target the poor Black woman. She's always struggling and suffering and just barely making it and, just barely making it. And, let's just discuss his core audience. When we first heard of Tyler, he was doing those plays with Medea. And so they pretty much attracted his core audience because I bought his DVDs from a guess where? Um, a gospel store. What do you call the church stores? What would we call those stores that got all the church stuff? Gospel, religious stores, whatever. I got his plays from there. Okay. So his target audience was church, right? And the next would be Black people, right? And then his next target is women. And then the next target is a whole bunch of drama. So, along with this story, it's good. A lot is going on. He puts so much in stuff, it's like a spicy spaghetti. You could take a few things out, just too much, right? Then it's underdeveloped at the same time. There are certain things that did not need to be in the movie, and we'll get to that. But you could take him or leave him, kind of. I some you know, I don't know. Tyler seems to be, as much as he works, it seemed like he would be doing great work by now. And he just seems to want to stay subpar. And that's fine. There is an audience for subpar. Totally fine. It is what it is. So let's get into it. Okay. Because, child, I got to do Basketball Wives. I ain't even watched Basketball Wives yet, and I plan on doing that tonight. Okay, so it's the morning. Glorilla is blasted from a neighbor's apartment building. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. She's poor, so this is a poor, apartment building. So it's hard for me to understand ghetto people up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Had they not gone to bed yet? Why are you blasting music? Because the landlord, she a mess. She talked mess. She was talking smack to the detective. So it's kind of like it's hard to, maybe it was her that was blasting the mute. No, she said it was the neighbors because they were outside. Anyway, it was just hard to believe that ghetto people are up early in the morning. Are they up from last night? Because they ain't up. Why are they up so early? Okay. So she gets her daughter up for school. Her daughter is really cute. She's 8 years old, and I was about to say Taraji, but Jania's about to give her a bath, and the 8-year-old wants to take a bath by herself. She wants to bathe herself. So Jania is like, well, baby, you failed the last time you bathed yourself because she suffers from seizures, and she said you had gotten bruises on your back, had to take you to the hospital. So we're trying not to do that. Okay. So, okay, let me follow with the story. So she's coming outside. See, I'm trying not to give it all away yet. Okay, let me get down here. Okay, so then she goes outside. She's coming down the stairs from her apartment to take her daughter to school. The landlord is outside. You owe me rent. Where is my rent? Your rent is late. Blasting her out all in front of the neighbors. And she's like, I get paid today. I'll take a break. I'll come back and give you my rent on my break. Okay, if you don't, I'm going to put all your stuff right here out front. Sinbad is in a wheelchair. He's older. He's panhandling a little bit. And throughout all her struggles, she gives him change. Okay. So the daughter is telling her on the way to school that she needs $40 for lunch because the teacher has embarrassed her about eating the free lunches and she wants the more expensive lunches. But I believe the daughter she can't eat certain things. So she drops her off, goes to work. So she's at work. She's a cashier at what I thought was the dollar store, but it seems just like a grocery store, but they real ghetto. So I guess it was the first of the month maybe because it was packed. It was packed, a whole bunch of irate customers because there's only one register. So it gives you the idea that it was a dollar store, but it wasn't. It was a grocery store. Maybe like a super dollar store because they sold alcohol and food, but it was a grocery store. So she's ringing up a lady. She has a beer or whatever because her dude is with her. And so she gives Janiyah her EBT card. Like she gonna put it on the food stamp card. And Janiyah's following protocol. And so she's like, oh, you can't use this on certain things. And so the lady said, she cussing around. Well, they work other times. Oh, they called her out her name, blah, 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 blah. Took her card, left the stuff. Dude picks up a bottle of beer and throws it at Janiyah's feet, breaks it, could have, cut her up at her feet because she had on like little toms, like little espadrilles. So her foot is, the top of her foot is out. So she kind of just jumps and she's all defeated. She's very docile, very humble. So she's not meeting them where they are. So child, her boss is Colonel Taylor from Different World. I think they called him Richard. So he's fussing at her and telling her to go get the broom and hurry up and clean up and hurry up because it's busy. Not giving her any props for following protocol. She could have let that slide and risked her job. She got no props for that. The dude threw a bottle at her, got no sympathy, no compassion from her boss because of that. And it was very hard to take this in, being that he was Black also, right? Because you would think he's a father figure. He would have some compassion for her. She's a nice girl, got a lot going on, the single mother, sick daughter, 2 jobs, he was a mess. So she goes to the back room to get the broom. Her work friend comes back there and tries to hand her some money, to help her with her daughter's medicine. Janiyah does not accept the money. She's like, no, girl, we get paid tomorrow. It's totally fine. I'm like, wait, what? Why couldn't you just take the money and go pay for your daughter's lunch and pay her back tomorrow? So, whatever. She did. Oh, so anyway, then the phone rings. It's the school telling them, her, you got to hurry up and get this lunch money in. So she's like, oh my God, I'm on my way. Okay, I'm going to come. So the boss comes back there. What are you doing? You're supposed to be on this register. She's like, oh, that was the school calling. Can I please go? They need me. She needs me. And he's like, fussing at her. Then he's like, okay, go. You got 30 minutes. She's like, it's going to take longer. Whatever, 30 minutes. Okay. So she goes outside to the car. Now, she looks up at the bank. It's across the parking lot. She goes to the bank. She tries to withdraw $40. She has $47 in her account, but the ATM won't give her the money because her bank account will close because she needs a certain amount to keep it open. Maybe she only needs maybe $10, right? So she goes in, and so Sherry Shepard, whose name is Nicole, the branch manager, explains this to her. And there's a line, because I guess it's the first of the month, right? So she's like, oh, I can't wait. I got to hurry up because, she's on a 30-minute time schedule with a boss. So Nicole is like, oh, girl, you got to wait in line. Sorry. And then some girl in line was looking like, I wish you would try to cut. Get in line like the rest of us. You know how we are. So she leaves because she only has 30 minutes. So she goes to the school. And I'm trying to remember, why did she go to the school if she didn't have the money? So she goes to the school. Oh, I tried to get up here as fast as I could. And they are taking her daughter away. CPS is there taking her daughter away. But if y'all didn't peep, when she dropped her daughter off that morning, the teacher was looking at her weird, like, what are you doing? We'll get to that soon. So she's there at the school and she's just like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, you're going to take my daughter. Oh no, yeah, because she comes to school, she's always hungry and she stinks. I'm a good mom. I have 2 jobs. Blah, 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 blah. Right? So she hops in the car to get back to work. Now it's raining. She's in a long line at the light. So she tries to, change lanes. She doesn't see this Camaro coming. She almost hits him. He's honking, swerving, mad, white guy. He's a cop, but he's off duty. He gets upset, rolls his window down, call her all kind of BITs, and she's her nerves are bad, right? She's just like, oh my God, she don't say sorry, but she's just so timid and meek, right? So he gets all up in her face. So he makes it to where her car is going all over the street, changing lanes, twisting, turning, right? So he pulls up on her and threatens her and tells her that he gonna figure out a way to legally blow her brains out. She's frazzled, razzled, because she is just a mess, right? So she gets out to try to see what's wrong with her car. Then the police pulls up. License registration. She don't have the registration. Her license is suspended. The cop takes her license, tows her car. It's raining. OMG, right? The rain is what got me. It was like, see, Tyler, it's already so much going on. Why does it have to be raining so hard, right? So then she goes home to find her stuff on the front yard. Oh, child, the landlord, I told you, you better. You better take what you can get, and I'm throwing everything else away. So she grabs her daughter's clear backpack and get all her medication. And there's her science project that's in her backpack, right? So she goes back to work from what I remember. Oh, child, I'm already tired from this day. She goes back to work. I think the boss telling her, oh, but you're late, you 2 hours late. Then he fires her, right? She walks in. He told her, yeah, I'm about to get Michelle to come work because you didn't, whatever. Anyway, he fires her. You just need to be, he was trying to tell her he was sorry, but then he said, I'm not sorry, da 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 da. And so, she's like, well, can I get my paycheck? And he like, well, you don't get your paycheck when you get fired. I have to put it in the mail. You got to wait. I got to mail it. And she's just like, and his role would have been better had he not been Black. It was just hard for me to see Colonel Taylor, okay, Richard, being so mean to her, just being mean to this woman. It's like, I'm pretty sure she's had many excuses. You tired of her always needing something. And I get it, but it just seemed like you wouldn't have been so rah, rah, rah at her, right? So he fires her. She wants her paycheck. He doesn't give it to her. Child, they look up. This dude comes into the office asking for some Black and Miles. Richard is like, you can't be back here. He pulls out a gun. It's a robbery. Richard got all this cash sitting on the desk. Dude wants the cash and he wants him to get the money out the safe. And so he does. They all like, oh my God, oh my God. Everybody's just shocked, right? And then there's a robber behind him. He has a co-robber behind him that was good for nothing. And for me, that was like, why was he there? He did absolutely nothing in this, he did nothing. So what happened was the guy pulls the gun out. He looks at Jania's name tag. He's like, oh, what's up, Jania? It's a robbery, right? So the robber wants Jania to put the money in her backpack because he's going to take the backpack too. She ain't having it because this is her daughter's. So she's like, no. They get into it. I think he hit her with the gun. She grabbed his gun and she shot him. Okay. Now, mind you, the co-robber is just standing there and then he just takes off. No, he just standing there. He's doing nothing. And then, I guess, yeah, was he there? Maybe. Anyway, whatever. So then when she shoots him, the boss is like, oh, you was in on it. This was your idea. He knew you because he said your name. I had to get my water. Did you drink your water? Drink your water, besties. And so, he's all fussing at her still. And child, she is like, she can't take it no more. She need that check to pay her rent. And she shoots and kills her boss. Oh God, I am saying words I'm not even supposed to be saying. She pows the boss, and then he's unalive. She unalives him. He boom, and then the co-robber looks like, oh my goodness, and he runs off. He has a gun, and he runs off. Weird, right? Okay, so Janiyah takes her check. She gets her check. She goes to the bank. She got, blood on her, blood on the check. She goes to the teller. The teller's like, oh, you've been how kids are. This is whatever she thought it was. I don't know, whatever. Janiyah's like, just cash my check, $521, y'all. And so the bank tellers asked for her ID, and she was like, I don't have it. It was stolen. And so the bank teller tells her, I can't cash the check. Now check this out. Janiyah works across the parking lot. She comes in there. We saw her there earlier. This is her bank, right? Why is this woman, this bank teller, giving her a hard time as if the check is something foreign? It's from across, the check is from the store across the parking lot. But she's like, because she's following her protocol. The boss followed his protocol. No one's listening to this girl. So Janiyah has the gun in her hand. So she puts it like, she kind of pushes the check towards her with the gun, like, cash this check and I'm not playing with you. So of course everybody's in an uproar, because in the bank, if you have a gun, that means you're trying to rob the bank, right? So the bank teller next to Tessa, sounds off the little silent, we're getting robbed alarm. So it alerts the branch manager, 911, call the police, get the robber. So they're giving Janiyah all the money. The teller next to her is giving her all her money, and her bank teller is giving her all her money. Janiyah's like, wait, what's going on? I don't want all this. I just want the $521. That's all I want is my check cash. I'm not robbing you guys. Child, this was a mess. So 911 is calling Nicole, who is played by Sherry Shepherd. She's in her office, and 911 is like, is there a robber there? What do they look like? What are they doing? So she's telling them. Child, this was a whole mess. Now, when Janiyah got to the bank, it was 4:00, and the security guard was locking the door because they were closed. He was following his protocol, but Nicole told him to let her in. This is all Nicole's fault. And I just want to know, why didn't Janiyah have direct deposit? Girl, you wouldn't need to go to no bank. How you got 2 jobs and they didn't set you up for direct deposit? You get your money the day before payday. Like, girl, what year was that? What year was it? So, child. So, they all scared. She's here, yes. Robbing the bank. The detectives have been called. They go to the job. They look at the tape. Tiana Taylor is the detective, Detective Raymond. Something about the video triggers her because she grew up with a single mother, and she was a single mother. And something about this robbery didn't seem robbery. She didn't see robbery with, and of course, the unaliving. She saw something else, right? So she wanted to take this on because she had skills of negotiation, because she was in the military. And I don't know why they had that wig on Tiana Taylor. She and all that makeup. She looked so overly done up to be a detective. It was like they could have calmed that makeup down a little bit. And that, I guess it was just the wig. And Tyler Perry is good for some bad wigs. It wasn't horror. Yeah, it was. It was. Okay, so they go look at the tape. And so, of course, her partner, he was handsome. Hey, boo, who was he? Do y'all know? So he was like, oh, she did it. He wanted to just go for it. She unaliving people. She robbing. Let's just go get her. Tiana, well, Detective Raymond is like, nah, something about this is special. It's a little different. So they go out, talk to the neighbors, talk. Sinbad said, oh, she's a sweet girl. They talk to her friend at work. Oh, this is not her. She is not like that. She's a mother. She's nice. She's not ghetto. I know ghetto people. She's not like that. Blah, 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 right? So what happens then, child? It was just so much happening, you know. So she's in there. There's a few people in the bank. Some guy is in there. He tries to take take Jediah on, try to get her. The gun goes off, and he and the security guard run out the bank because the door is not locked. I don't know why the people was just in there. The door was not locked. She was not robbing the bank. She did not come in there and tell everybody, stick them up. She did not say, get down, give me your purse, your watch, your wallet. She did not say, close the door, turn off the cameras. This is a stick up. I'm coming to take all the money. She did not do that. She was holding that gun for so long. So remember, the baby's science project is in a clear backpack. Well, there was a siren in there, so it was lighting up, looking like a bomb. Child, they done told the people she got a bomb in the backpack. So that's why they all were pretty much frozen and wouldn't leave, because they're like, she has a bomb and a gun. She is dangerous. And all this girl wanted was this check, cash, for $521. So it was a lot of this with the detectives coming and talking to her and gaining her trust. And someone finally heard her, you know. Everyone's following their own protocol because that's why we all in this mess, you know. But Nicole, the bank manager, was riding with her because they knew it was just more than just, well, she wasn't robbing the bank. And so one of the bank teller next to the one that she was robbing, well, not robbing, but trying to get her to cash a check, she was videotaping the whole shebang that was going on. They hit the news, so they kind of understood that she wasn't in there for she wasn't coming to rob the bank. They could tell that this woman had had enough. The last straw had been strawed, and she was flipping out, right? What else did they do? They were calling her, and when they first called her, she pretty much just ran her whole thing out. My daughter, she's sick. Da, 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 da. So, girl, then like this has been going on for 12 hours. So they wanted her to come out. She had to come out. They had to figure this out. She knew she was going to jail, but she wanted to be sure that the cop that told her that he would unalive her legally, she wanted to make sure he wasn't outside. She said she saw him, I guess because they was watching the news in there, and maybe she saw him in the background. Child, it was a lot going on. So they had to prove to her that he was, you know, taken care of. So Tiana's character, she went and found when they figured out who wrote the ticket, which was the lady cop. They was like, you wrote it? Well, who was with you? They found out. Tiana went over there, knocked him out, beat him up, got him in trouble, took him away. He was about to get dealt with, probably fired. He was done, right? So then in comes the FBI because they have to follow their protocol, because to them, the police wasn't doing their job or wasn't getting to the point because it had been 12 hours. So all this going on, Tessa, Miss Megan Good's big sister, she in there, like she is not touched by this. There was an elderly lady in there that was on her jock, like just riding her. Like, I can't believe you sitting here listening to all her stories and you don't feel for her. Well, honey, Tessa was like, child, I ain't got it to do. I gotta go. I gotta figure out how to get out of here. So she I guess Janiyah and Nicole went to go turn off the cameras inside the bank. So Miss Tessa went to go see if the door was locked. It was. I'm like, where were you? You were sitting there when the man and the security guard ran out, and then the old couple left. You were sitting right there when Janiyah told Nicole to go lock the door. What are you talking about? So anyway, child, she was just all over the place. She was trying to figure stuff out. The other bank telling her is like, well, you keep still. That lady has a bomb. They didn't know it was a science project. So she had to go to the bathroom. So she wrote a message to tell them that I ain't forgot what the message said, but something of another, whatever. Long story short, because I'm about sick of it, because I got to do Basketball Wives. Um, yeah. So what we find out, so everybody's out the bank. The last lady that was in there, her diabetes was starting to act up. Her sugar was getting low. So they let her. So Janiyah let her out because she didn't want her to, she was sick. So she let her out. And yeah, what happened then? Okay, so what we found out, so it's just Nicole and Janiyah in the bank. So Janiyah's talking about her daughter, and Nicole is saying things to calm her down, like, you have to think about, you gotta, surrender for your daughter so you can see your daughter. So, honey, after that bond, Janiyah felt heard, and she was like, no one has ever been there for me to help me. So she even asked Nicole, like, will you take care of my daughter until I get out? Like, could you please, and I can understand how she would get out of how she unalived the robber, but I don't know about how she would get out of unaliving her boss. Oh, because probably she would. So let me tell you what really was going on. So they bonded. Nicole is just sitting there like, yes, I will raise your daughter. Yes. So she like, you gonna come visit me when I go to jail? She like, yeah, I'm gonna come visit you and I'm gonna bring your daughter. She's in there doing all the negotiating to get this woman out to go surrender to go to jail. So she could get out of her bank so she could go home to her family because Sherry Shepherd's character was married with two daughters. And what I didn't like is through all this day, her husband and her kids should have been outside with them cops, with them protest. I want to talk about the protesters. Well, honey, everybody was watching this on live when Janiyah was telling her story about what she came to do. She just wanted to catch a check. She got a daughter. Her daughter's sick. Her daughter needs to eat. Her daughter needs this. I need to pay my rent. Every black woman and man across Georgia heard it, and they came to protest. They wanted them to free free Janiyah. And I didn't see why. Anyway, I don't know. I just felt like Sherry Shepherd's husband and kids should have been somewhere in the movie. We needed to see them. Y'all at home chilling while your wife is down here being held hostage at her job by some crazy woman. So in the end, if you were confused, I will help you. What was happening was Janiyah's daughter, had passed away the night before all of this, right? This all happened in one day. So when Nicole and Janiyah was in the bank together talking, Janiyah's phone rung. They had turned her phone back on. The FBI had turned her phone back on because she wanted to see proof that they had got the bad cop. But what ended up happening, the FBI came in. He said, I ain't doing nothing. So the detective, Tiana Taylor, she grabbed her phone and went to the front door of the bank, gave it to Nicole, tell her to see that I got him because she had proof on her phone. So, okay, she got him. Good. So mom calls. She said, this is my mother. And she's like, Mama, I'm just out. She said, what are you doing robbing that bank? She said, Mama, I ain't robbing no bank. I just came down here to get the money from tonight, to get the Aria's money for lunch. So she's going off, right? So her mom is like, Janiyah. She said, Aria passed away last night. And child, Janiyah relived her shock all over again. It stopped. Life stopped. Time stopped. Yeah. So Janiyah was suffering in the steps of grief. She was suffering shock. That's the first stage. Because this happened last night, yesterday. Shock and denial. She was in denial. Her mind, she was having a psychotic breakdown, a mental freeze. Her brain was deteriorating. Her mind had stopped. Her mind would not accept that her daughter had passed away. So when you rewind this movie, that baby was not there. Okay? When they woke up in the business began, her daughter wasn't there. Her brain said she was still there. She would not let her go away, pass away. That's why when she went up to the school, the uh, teacher was looking at her like, "What are you doing?" She got out, opened up the back door as if she was letting the daughter out. And the teacher's looking at her like, "What are," she said, "Are you okay?" And that's when they replayed it. When she went to the school, when she got that 30-minute break, the teacher told her, "We didn't call you." So when she was in the back going to get the broom to sweep up her cashier station, it was a bill collector that called her, not the school. Child, this woman run around here talking about the baby's medicine, school, lunch. She was going through the day as if nothing had happened the night before. So in the beginning, you saw her holding her daughter in the hospital with a blanket. So when they replayed it again, there was no one in that blanket. Remember, the doctor, the nurse was at the door watching her walk down the hallway. Oh my goodness, this was so deep. It was so deep that this woman could not fathom living without her daughter. She could not accept that at that moment. She was stuck in shock and denial of grief. She really thought her daughter was alive. And what I didn't understand, when at the bank, when her mom called and she was like, "My daughter isn't here, passed away." And Nicole said, "I know. They told me earlier." Who told Nicole earlier? I want to know who told Nicole. How did you know, the bank teller? How did a bank manager know that your daughter passed away the night before? She been at work all day. You could, like, when did someone tell you? Who knew? Because her boss didn't know. Her friend at work didn't know. Didn't seem like the landlord knew. Sinbad's character didn't know. How did you know? Tiana, the detectives didn't know. How did Nicole know? But the teachers, clearly they knew. Did the teacher know Nicole? Did the kids go to the same school? I mean, really. So that was it, besties. I just had to get that off. Just let me know what you thought about Straw. I was like, child, whoo, it was the last straw. When she couldn't cash that check, honey, she had had enough. She had had enough. But Tyler, let me know what you think about Tyler. For me, but the movie, it gets an A minus, B plus, A minus. It was good. I cried. It had me going. I was all, but that was Taraji's though. That girl can act. Taraji can act, honey. And this is her second movie with Tyler. She did I Can Do Battle by Myself back in whenever that was. And so I heard that they've been saying that they did this movie in 4 days, right? And it's the movie could have been better, little slower, could have took some things out and added some other things in. So it was almost there. But I just feel like maybe if you would have gave it a week or two, you would have seen some things you could have corrected. But I think Tyler gets off on hurrying up his projects. And I think I heard that's because he don't spend a lot of time with wigs and makeup, because he does like all his shows, they do it in a week's time. Like he be wearing these people out, child. But anyway, besties, you let me know. Put your comments down in the comment section. Make sure to like this video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. And make sure your notification bell is on, honey. Ding dong. So that you know each and every time I post my content. And I'll be back with another recap, besties, basketball wise. Bye, besties.